Hello and welcome to Advanced Algebra, your very first review session packet video. So let's get started. First, we are reviewing the concept of slope. So we can either use the formula or we can make a slope triangle looking at the graph. So we are graphing 1, 8 and 6, 5. Okay, so we have 1, 8 and 6, 5. I could make a slope triangle and I'm going to go from left to right. So slope tends to be rise over run. So I'm going to do the vertical change right here from one point to the other point. So to go from left to right, one point to the other point, I went down 3 and I moved in a positive direction forward 5. Down 3, forward 5. So we say the slope, okay, M for how did it move is -3 over 5. So let's see how the formula agrees with the graph. So these are my x coordinates and these are my y coordinates. X1, Y1 and X2, Y2, 0.1 and 0.2. So we're going to go Y2 minus Y1. Sometimes we put it in a box. So these are my X's, these are my Y's. So we have 1, 8 and 6, 5. So I want to go Y2 minus Y1, X2 minus X1. So 8. So 5 minus 8 and 6 minus 1, which is -3 over 5, which agreed with our slope triangle. Okay, let's do number 2. We are not going to do the slope triangle. We're just going to practice the formula. X1, Y1, and X2, Y2. So we have Y2 minus Y1 back to X2 minus X1. Now, why do we start with the second point? It tends to give you a better possibility of having the negative on top if there's a negative. So that's really the reason. As long as you are consistent, whatever point you start with, you continue with. Notice these are an ordered pair and these are an ordered pair. So using the formula, we have 4 over 3 is the slope. Notice this is an improper fraction and we leave it. We never change slope to a mixed number. Okay, so that means from one point to the next, we went rise 4, run 3, which we could also see on the graph. Okay, we're going to use the box strategy to FOIL the binomials. So we're going to expand the expression using the box method. So we're going to multiply x plus 5 and x plus 7. So step 1 is multiply. X times x is x squared. X times 7 is 7x. Okay, think about what's going to go in that box. I'm going to multiply the 5 and the x. So that's going to give me 5x. Think about what's going to go in that box. You should be thinking 35. Okay, so first we multiplied and then we combine like terms. Okay, do I have any like terms? Those terms right there are like terms and can be combined. So 5x's plus 7x. So the answer is x squared. 5x and 7x. 5x plus 7x is equal to 12x. Notice when I multiplied, my exponent changed. But when I added, my exponent did not change. So that's 12x plus 35. So little review. You haven't seen that probably since your Algebra 1 class. So hopefully you remember how to do that. Let's try again. So we're going to have x plus 10 and x plus 9. Okay, what goes in this first box? X times x is x squared. When you multiply, the exponent changes. This box is 9x. This box is 10x. And our final box is 10 times 9 is 90. So step 1 was multiply. Step 2, combine like terms. So 10x plus 9x. Notice when I add, I'm not changing the exponent. So I get x squared plus 19x plus 90. There's my expression. Now, can I combine any more like terms? Are these alike? No, I have an x squared and I have an x. The x squared is like an x with 2 tails, and the x doesn't have 2 tails. It has 1 tail. So those are not alike. So this is the final answer. Okay, speaking of exponents, let's review exponents a little bit more. So these are called the coefficients. So we are going to multiply the coefficients. And these are the exponents. We are going to add the exponents. Okay, I am missing an exponent here. So that has an invisible exponent of 1. Multiply the coefficient, add the exponent. Okay, so notice I'm going to say r squared times r cubed, base to the power, add. What if I have base to the power? 1 base, 2 powers. Now, it has nothing to do with the parentheses. I could put parentheses there and you still add. 1 base, 2 powers. Dun, 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 dun. That base has superpowers. Okay, so one base to the power, base to the power to the power. Superpowers are to the sixth. Yeah, and very important difference. Okay, number 7. So we have 2 to the power of 2 and x cubed to the power of 2. 2 squared is 4. That x has superpowers. So we get x to the 6th. I could show you how by expanding. Okay, tell me that you need to meet me in office hours, either in person or in Zoom, and we can talk about it more. Okay, this exponent now, it works just like distributive works, but it's not distributive. Don't call it distributive. So we have 4 squared and x cubed squared. 4 squared is 16. X has superpowers, so we multiply. And there you go. So that ends our first review session. Please complete the packet practicing these methods and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.